Well, hello everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. It is time for chapter 4. Now, this is going to be an abbreviated chapter. Everybody cheer. Woohoo! We're going to cut out a bunch of the lessons and we're going to actually start with lesson 2. So here we go, lesson 2, relations. Now, we've been working with relations a ton. I'm not sure why it comes in chapter 4. I think this lesson should have been in chapter 1. I mean, in like before chapter 3. This should have been in chapter 3. I don't know. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, vocabulary startup. Let's start over here. These are the 3 things you need to know about. What is a relation? What's the domain in a relation? And what's the range in a relation? Okay, we'll start off with just a relation is just a set of coordinate pairs. Okay, a set of coordinate pairs, that could be a set of paired up numbers in a table, in a graph. You could represent them as equations or just as a written down list of coordinates. Okay, I'll show you some examples later. But let's get over here to these key phrases here. Okay, we have the origin in the middle, the x-axis is here, the y-axis is here, and we have our quadrants that go as the letter C does for a coordinate plane. See what I did there? I made a C, and to show you that that's the direction of the quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay, most of this is review, so hopefully you're not too confused yet. All right, we're going to jump over to the next page. So you guys have already read through this, but I just want to clarify a few things, okay? What's a relation again? Well, it says a relation is any set of ordered pairs. Any one. There doesn't have to be a pattern. You really just have to come up with a set of ordered pairs and you got a relation, okay? And you know, a relationship in regular life, like I know with COVID and stuff, it's hard to have a relationship with someone. But a relationship takes 2 people, just like a relation in math takes 2 coordinates. Okay, the -2 here is paired up with a 3 in this specific relation. This is a relation shown in ordered pairs, right? Okay, because it pairs up one number with another, one number with another, one number with another, one number with another. Okay, that same ordered pair can be written over here as a table, and it can be shown a little more visually like this in a graph. You see -2, 3, that's right here, -2, 3. Okay, so these are all the same relation, just shown differently. All right, now 2 new words for you probably are domain and range. The domain of the relationship is the set of x coordinates, and the range is the set of y coordinates. So if we look up here, you can see that all the x coordinates, the first listed coordinate, okay, those are your domain values. You can see how they just listed them in order. -2, 1, 0, 3. -2, 1, 0, 3. Okay, and then your range is just the y values in a relation. So just in this case, when they're written in coordinate pairs or ordered pairs, you can see that the second number is your range value. So 3, 2, -1, and 1. Okay, that would be here in the table. All these values would be the range values. And then you would just have to think about, okay, that's 2 for x, 3 for y. So 3 would be your range value, and 2 would be your domain value. All right, so it's pretty simple. It's almost so simple that you might think you're getting these wrong, but here's an example. You can check it out. Express the relation 2, 6, -4, -8, -3, 6, and 0, -4 as a table and a graph. So look, they wrote it as a table. Pretty simple, right? You just pop those coordinate pairs or ordered pairs into this beautiful table. That's all you have to do is draw that table. Okay, and then graph the ordered pairs. Well, you're going to have to make yourself a graph and plot these original ordered pairs on this graph. Okay, And the last part of this said state the domain and range. Well, we got our domain. Okay, domain, right, is the X values. So you just list those for your domain. And we have our range, which are the Y values. And just like X and Y are in alphabetical order, right? X, Y, X comes before Y in the alphabet. Well, you can remember domain and range because D for domain comes before range, right? And X comes before Y. So just like X comes before Y, D comes before R. So we can always know that the domain is your X values because they both come first in the alphabet. Okay, good way to remember it. All right, so you see down here, they listed those domain values. They're just the numbers that were all the X coordinates. And then here's your range, and you can notice that those are all your Y coordinates. Notice that they put them in order from least to greatest. Okay, so here's an example that you could do. If you want to practice, you can, or just think through what it would look like. Here's the answer. All right, fill in. You can see -5 and 2 are paired here. -5 and 2 are paired in the table. All right, and then you just would plot these points. So -5, 2 would be -5, and then 2. Since each of the dashes, the intervals, are all going by 2's in this case. So it might be a little confusing at first, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Okay, and then you list the domain. That's just these. Right, that's just these values. All right, those are your domain values. And then your range values are these guys. Okay, all you do is list them. Here's an interesting thing. They don't list anything that was written twice, okay, that's used twice here. You only have to write it once. Not a big deal. You can write it twice if you want, but there you go. All right. Now here's an interesting one. Okay. Notice here that they don't give you a pairing. Okay, this is a relation, but it's actually hidden. It's hidden in the form of a rate. All right. $3 per hour to park at the Wildwood Amusement Park. Okay, there are two quantities being compared here, though. You have the dollars and the hours. So you can see that that's our coordinate pair right there, dollars and hours. How do they relate? Okay, make a table. This is important right here. Make a table of ordered pairs in which the x coordinate represents the hours. Okay, it tells you what to put in the x position. And the y coordinate represents the total cost for 3, 4, 5, and 6 hours. All right, so the y is going to be the total cost, and it tells you to fill in 3, 4, 5, and 6 hours. So they go in there, the x column, and then you just calculate using this information up here. You just calculate how much money that would be. Okay, for 3 hours, well, it's $3 per hour, so 3 times 3 would be 9. 4 times 3 would be 12. 5 times 3 would be 15. 6 times 3 would be 18. Okay, and then it'll ask you to graph them there. All right, here the answers are already up, but it's a similar thing where they tell you a rate, right, per movie, that much per movie, and then they ask you to make a table. You can see it over here. All right, where did those numbers come from? Well, they told you to make a table where the x coordinate represents the number of movies rented. So movies rented would be here. And y represents the total cost. And it tells you to use 1, 2, 3, and 4 movies, right? Okay. And then you graph those. You know how to graph ordered pairs. That is the lesson, guys. Like, that's it. You have to know what domain and range are, and you have to be able to tell me that a relation is just a collection of ordered pairs. All right, here are some examples for you. You can review through these to make sure you understand, but it's pretty straightforward, pretty cut and dry. What's domain, what's the range, and what's a relation. All right, good luck.